There is something sitting inside Ferrari's factory that Mercedes still hasn't had the chance to race against. It hasn't completed a Grand Prix. It hasn't been tested under race pressure. Yet engineers across the Formula One paddock are already talking about what could happen the moment it finally arrives. Because if Ferrari's newest upgrade performs the way Maranello believes it will, this championship could stop being Mercedes to lose and become Ferrari's to win. The biggest question isn't whether Ferrari is improving anymore. It's whether Mercedes has enough time left to stop what's coming. For almost the entire season, the story has remained exactly the same. Ferrari looked exceptional through medium and high-speed corners. The chassis generated confidence. The aerodynamic platform stayed consistent. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton repeatedly extracted impressive lap times in technical sections. But every time the circuit opened onto a long straight, Mercedes simply pulled away. It wasn't strategy, it wasn't driver error, it was raw engine performance. That single weakness prevented Ferrari from converting strong weekends into dominant victories. Now imagine removing the one flaw that has limited this car all season. Suddenly, Ferrari isn't chasing Mercedes anymore. Mercedes could be chasing Ferrari. The upgrade creating all this attention isn't a dramatic new front wing or a revolutionary suspension system. It's something hidden much deeper inside the power unit. A redesigned turbocharger that Ferrari has reportedly spent months refining. From the outside, it may look almost identical to the current version. Inside, however, engineers have reworked airflow, improved efficiency, introduced stronger materials, and optimized the way energy flows through the engine. That might sound like a small technical adjustment, but in Formula One, tiny engineering gains often produce massive performance differences. Better efficiency means stronger acceleration, more consistent power delivery, improved battery deployment, and higher top speed at exactly the moments where races are won or lost. What makes this situation even more dangerous is that Ferrari hasn't rushed this upgrade onto the car. They've deliberately waited. Every race before the summer break has effectively become preparation for what happens afterward. While other teams introduce smaller developments throughout the season, Ferrari has quietly focused on delivering one major performance step capable of changing the competitive order in a single weekend. That's a very different strategy. Instead of giving rivals time to respond piece by piece, Ferrari appears ready to unleash several improvements together. If that plan succeeds, Mercedes won't be reacting to one faster Ferrari. They'll be reacting to an entirely different machine. Many fans have wondered how Ferrari is still allowed to develop its engine so aggressively while the regulations seem incredibly restrictive. The answer lies within Formula One's engine performance balancing rules. Manufacturers that fall behind the established benchmark can receive carefully regulated opportunities to recover performance. Ferrari qualified for those recovery measures after its engine was measured below the competitive reference point. That means this isn't exploiting a loophole or bending the rules. It's an officially permitted development path designed specifically to reduce performance gaps. And according to multiple reports, Ferrari hasn't even used its biggest opportunity yet. The most significant improvement has been saved for after the summer break. Now consider the timing. The championship enters one of its most critical phases immediately after the shutdown. Every point becomes more valuable. Every mistake becomes more expensive. Every upgrade carries greater importance because there are fewer races remaining to recover lost ground. If Ferrari introduces a meaningful engine improvement at exactly that moment, every remaining Grand Prix suddenly becomes an opportunity to erase Mercedes' advantage. That's why people inside the paddock aren't simply discussing a faster Ferrari. They're discussing a potential shift in championship momentum. But the engine isn't expected to arrive alone. Reports from Italy suggest Ferrari is also preparing a significant aerodynamic package for the same period. While Ferrari hasn't officially confirmed every detail, the speculation follows a logical development pattern. An improved engine solves straight-line performance. Updated aerodynamics improve cornering efficiency, stability, and tire management. Separately, those upgrades create noticeable gains. Together, they could transform every phase of a lap. There would be fewer compromises, fewer weak sectors, and fewer circuits favoring Mercedes. That possibility alone explains why rival teams continue watching Ferrari's development so closely. Think about circuits like Monza. Known as the Temple of Speed, Monza rewards engine performance more brutally than almost anywhere else on the calendar. For years, teams have arrived knowing horsepower would decide the outcome. Ferrari has often entered its home race carrying enormous expectations from the tifosi, only to struggle because of straight-line speed. But what if this year is different? What if Ferrari arrives with genuine engine parity? Suddenly, the circuit that once exposed Ferrari's biggest weakness becomes one of its greatest opportunities. Few moments would generate more pressure for Mercedes than watching a fully competitive Ferrari fight for victory in front of its home crowd. Mercedes also faces another challenge that statistics don't always reveal. Throughout the season, reliability hasn't been as flawless as many expected. Mechanical problems and unexpected setbacks have quietly cost valuable championship points. Those issues become even more dangerous when a rival is getting faster. Losing points because of reliability is painful enough when you remain the quickest team. It's devastating when your closest competitor is simultaneously introducing performance upgrades. Every retirement becomes twice as expensive because Ferrari doesn't simply gain positions, they gain momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in Formula One. It changes confidence inside factories. It changes strategy meetings. It changes qualifying decisions. Drivers begin taking greater risks because they believe victories are achievable. Engineers push harder because every improvement suddenly matters more. Team principals become more aggressive because they sense opportunity. Ferrari appears to be entering exactly that phase. Race by race, confidence has continued growing. The points gap has slowly narrowed. The conversations inside the paddock have changed from asking whether Ferrari can compete to asking how much faster they might become. Even Mercedes has acknowledged the growing threat. Team principal Toto Wolff has repeatedly spoken about Ferrari becoming a genuine contender rather than an occasional challenger. Drivers across the grid have admitted Ferrari's race pace looks increasingly convincing. Rivals no longer dismiss Ferrari as a team capable of winning only under special circumstances. Instead, they recognize a manufacturer building consistent performance while continuing to develop aggressively. That's a dangerous combination during a championship battle because the strongest team isn't always the one leading today. Sometimes it's the team improving fastest. Still, Ferrari understands that potential means nothing without execution. Designing a faster engine is only half the challenge. That engine must survive race after race under enormous stress. Temperatures exceed extraordinary limits. Turbochargers rotate at incredible speeds. Every component operates near the edge of engineering possibility. A single reliability failure could erase months of progress. Ferrari cannot afford spectacular speed if it comes at the cost of finishing races. That's why engineers have reportedly spent so much time validating every detail before introducing this package. Winning championships requires both pace and durability. So here we are, approaching the most important stretch of the season. Mercedes still holds the advantage. Ferrari still has work to do. But the conversation surrounding this championship has completely changed. It's no longer about whether Ferrari belongs in the fight. It's about whether Mercedes can survive the next phase of Ferrari's development. Somewhere inside Maranello, a new weapon is waiting for its first true test. It hasn't answered every question yet, but it has already created one that Mercedes cannot ignore. What happens if Ferrari's biggest weakness disappears? The answer could decide this entire championship. And when the lights go out after the summer break, we'll finally discover whether Ferrari's newest weapon changes everything, or whether Mercedes still has one final answer left.